see those moments last night? You feel those moments? Big step back by Andrew Wiggins. 20 points for him. You know, Shasky, it's the first time in their history with Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, where each of them scored 20 points in a game.
Really?
Yeah, well, obviously Draymond Green doesn't score 20 bucks.
Yeah.
I think it's the most points he scored since Christmas Day back in 2019 when he beat the Rockets.
Wow.
Remember that? That was the one game he wanted.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. So Draymond Green coming in, GP2 changed the game, I thought, in the second quarter when he got inserted for the first time. Steve Kerr dusted him off. And we asked the question yesterday, who's the guy you trust outside of the six? You know Poole's going to play. You know Wiggins is going to play. You know Steph and Klay and Draymond and Looney are going to be important. They're going to play heavy minutes. But who do you trust? Early on, Steve Kerr tried to trust Dante DiVincenzo. Didn't happen at times. He played 17 minutes. Thought he made some good plays in the second half, but really wasn't there. Gary Payton II, going 4 or 5, cutting to the basket, some great dunks, 4 offensive rebounds for GP2. 4. He's the tallest 6'2" guy I've ever seen in the NBA. I mean, what a performance by GP2 coming off the bench. So he's back, and the Warriors have a 3-2 lead. They've won a road game, folks. Steph, Klay, and Dre have won a road game in 28 straight series, extending their NBA record. They're rewriting the history books.
I mean, they were showing the 3 players having the amount of victories. And I mean, they're right on a short list. And if they could, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but if they can win another, 11 or so games, I believe they're going to surpass who?
No, they won't surpass. They won't be able to catch them until next year, but it's Kareem, Magic, Michael Cooper, and then first is Manu, Tim Duncan, and Tony Parker.
They're 15 away, not 11. I thought they were 11
They're
away.
like 16 away from Magic.
So they're going to need a couple of years of runs to be able to catch those.
Exactly.
Even that being said, I mean,
they're
Steph
still on
Curry,
that list.
You guys were showing the point totals in the playoffs, and Steph Curry's 12th. Is that what it was?
15th now on the list.
15.
He just passed Magic Johnson.
God, my numbers are all off. But
don't worry.
Some of those names on that list, I mean, you're talking about guys that waltz, like Magic. Magic waltzed in, rookie year, playoffs.
Championship.
All the way. No, I'm saying like in terms of he played every year in the playoffs basically his entire career, right? And went to 9 finals or whatever it was. Shorter career because of obviously the circumstances and everything that happened. Like Hondo, who I believe, did he pass Hondo?
John Havlicek. Yeah. No, he's still on that list. I think he's going to, did he pass Hondo? Here, I'll pull up the list.
Yeah, pull up the list. The point being is like you're looking at these names and a lot of these guys went to, and I'm not taking anything away from them, but they went to teams that immediately you're in the playoffs for 14 straight years to start your career. Think of the team Steph Curry went to and the people he's passing on this list in terms of playoff excellence and points. And Bonte, to say it's amazing, and no, it is. It's unbelievable because now the Warriors went from being the have-nots to clearly the haves.
So we look at the career numbers in playoffs. Obviously, LeBron James is right there with 7,742 points. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. Curry's now 16th on the list. 16th on the list. All time. He surpassed Magic Johnson last night.
Jesus.
Curry now has 3,727 points in the playoffs, all time. So he's 28 behind Hakeem Olajuwon. Can surpass him in game number 6. Hondo sitting there with 3,776. At some point in these playoffs, he'll pass Hondo. Larry Bird's right there with 3,897 points. There's a shot he passes Larry Bird this postseason to become 13th all-time on the all-time playoff scoring list. Kevin Durant right there at number 8 with 4,700 points in the playoffs. Dwayne Wade, 12th, 3,954. So Steph Curry, 16th on the list, surpassing Magic Johnson. He's already surpassed Dirk Nowitzki, Scottie Pippen, and Elgin Baylor this postseason. Stephen Curry, folks, all-timer. Absolute all-timer. Let's get to Uncle Gene real quick.
I can't believe Wade's so high on that list. That's incredible.
Well, Wade played a lot of playoff games.
No, I know.
And he had some great runs, too.
But that's kind of like to my point. Like, yeah, I know Wade played in a lot of great playoff games.
But he had great games.
But think of like the names that Curry's coming up on, Bonte.
I mean, these are all, I know. This guy's no joke. Gene in Oakland. What's up, Gene?
Incredible.
Thanks for waiting on hold for us, Uncle Gene.
Thanks, Gene.
No problems. Good morning, gentlemen. Beautiful day in paradise, isn't it?
Man,
Draymond Green.
It feels so good.
Anyways, so for all those remaining Sacramento fans and all the other fans beyond in other cities that still haven't figured out the Warriors and how they're a different animal in the playoffs, let me explain it to you this way. First, they're going to scope you out. They're going to take a few games maybe to do it. And, but once they do, okay, you're going to have Mr. Draymond Green, assisted by his fellow assassins, Mr. Wiggins, Mr. Curry, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Looney, and Mr. GP2. And he's going to shove his fist right through your chest. He's going to grab your heart, and he's going to rip it out of your body. Okay? So, and he's going to leave you wondering, what the hell was that? Listen, I'm sick and tired of the disrespect shown towards Clay, the disrespect shown towards Draymond, and most of all, the disrespect that's shown towards this team, okay? This is a championship team, guys, and everyone else out there. I hope you get it. And one last thing, Mr. Lakeup, pay this guy what he wants for as many years as he wants, because the heartbeat is officially back.
Draymond Green, great call, Uncle Gene.
I'm not ready to break this thing up.
No,
I don't care what happens from here on out. I just can't.
Well,
now you can tinker and play around with things around them. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to break it up.
I mean, if they don't lose the series, how can you? How can you? They've yet to lose a Western Conference series under Steve Kerr. Think about that. It ain't losing to the Sacramento Kings. This one's over on Friday. Now, we'll break down the game tomorrow and how the Warriors are going to close these jokers out. Because, listen, Sacramento, they ain't no punks. I give them credit. That team plays hard. De'Aaron Fox is a hell of a leader. But they better get somebody around them. And you better decide what to do with Domantas Sabonis, because you cannot give him a max contract. Sabonis has been MIA. That's the emptiest 21-10. His stats are they lie to you. If somebody just picked up the box score and said, oh, well, Sabonis had 21-10. Sabonis had 21-10 and 4 assists. That is the most misleading stats that I've ever seen. He's been awful in this series. Unplayable, stripped, holds the ball. He gets the ball. When he has the ball low in his midsection, he brings it up. It's so slow. He shows the ball. Oh, my gosh.
Draymond was arguing about one other call, and then on the very next play, after the timeout, he gets the charge on Sabonis. It was just so predictable.
He is
shoulder down, coming right into you. I'm telling you, for a guy that we lauded his post game and all his skills,
he's not that good to me.
He doesn't really have a go-to post move other than shoulder down. Let me batter ram into you.
He's so robotic.
And he's
mechanical.
Has he finished with a right-handed layup once?
I don't know if he did. I know he had the lefty hook early in the game, but man, Sabonis is just not that guy. And I'm telling you, Sacramento, you got to do something here. You can't win with that guy in the playoffs. You just can't. You got to get somebody else. Seriously, the points and the rebounds is misleading. It really is. I mean, he was awful yesterday. He was borderline unplayable. Harrison Barnes, by the way, I like the way he felt bad for him.
Why?
Just
because you haven't.
I've ripped him for years. Yesterday I said, "Damn, what could have been? What could have been?"
I always liked him.
I always liked him. He was a good dude.
Not like I never had any ill will or anything like that. I always had high hopes for him. He just hasn't been as good as I thought. Coming out of Carolina.
And you see what he did yesterday. There was times we're in the studio where we were saying, whenever he shoots, I'll yell, "He's with us! He's with us! He's with us!" Clanking after clank after clank after clank. I think Sacramento's going to have to live with this all off season.
Are you calling him Donnie Brasco?
Nah, he's not a snitch. But all I'm just saying is, I'm thinking, it flashed driving home. I said, Harrison Barnes was that close.
In all the 5 boroughs, I'm known.
He was just that close.
To what?
To ending this thing.
Well, Wiggins was that close to hitting the shot, too.
But it should have been 2-2, though.
The
margins are thin, but this is the difference in Game 4.
I know.
In a desperation game.
But couldn't I
say
he
had the shot.
But, yes, which he missed that shot, and I hear you. Couldn't I say, the Warriors had, multiple opportunities to put that game away as well. Now, I know the final play is the one that we're going to rest on.
The 15-4 run at the end of the third quarter, no doubt.
No, but there were even the certain possessions. We can go back and forth. I don't know. They missed a bunch of shots.
We can go back and forth, but in that circumstance, though, for Harrison Barnes to be up 2-1 and have that shot, and now he's got to think about it all offseason. Well, he was that close. He's helping the Kings take a 3-1 lead. That close.
If anyone has some familiarity with thinking about missed shots all offseason, I think it's Harrison.
Wow. Damn.
I mean, am I wrong?
Damn.
I'm not slandering him.
And then you had this.
It's in the history books, Monte.
It is 5 of 32.
Chapter 2 of the Warriors.
Right, 5 of 32.
Dynasty.
And yet Barkley still said this before the game.
Secret sauce is the Kings gonna whoop their ass tonight. Oh, guarantee it.
Oh, my
guarantee it.
Really?
And it ain't gonna be close.
It ain't gonna be close. How about this one? ABC 10. Because he's so worried about what we're tweeting or what we're not tweeting. There's Matt George yesterday saying that the Warriors are fortunate that Sabonis has struggled.
It's an appropriate place to start, and I will happily give the roses where it's deserved. Kevon Looney has played very, very well. And look, I covered Kevon Looney when I covered the NBA Finals last year, so I knew that he had talent. I genuinely did not think that the Golden State Warriors had an answer for Domantas Sabonis, and to this point in this series, I've been dead wrong. And the Golden State Warriors are fortunate that I've been dead wrong, because had they not had an answer for him like I thought, this series would have been over in 4 or 5 games. Based off how game 1 and game 2 went. Hey, you can laugh right now. Y'all were melting down 5-6 days ago. There was a complete meltdown in the Bay Area, down 0-2, and suddenly the Golden State Warriors win 2 games, and the narrative has changed from Domantas Sabonis uses the ball as a weapon,
you know what?
To we got a little bit of swagger back. So I hear you. I've been following anything.
Matt George. The streets will call it Domantas Sabonis. Domantas Sabogus.
Cut to perfection.
I mean,
I love that way we're both laughing and trying to get in there.
Him. We just laughed at him when he said, "You guys are fortunate. We're fortunate." Yet you covered Looney in the finals last year, and you still thought he was food. You still thought he was food.
This one's going to hurt them a long time if they lose 4 in a row.
Oh, it's going to sting. It's going to sting.
Like a long time.
A long time. Sleepless nights. They're going to turn into Laker fans next round if the Lakers can handle their business.
No,
they may not.
No, they're not.
Oh, man.
No, are they?
I don't know, but you are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM, and AC1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And do not forget, you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel while you are there. Shout out to everybody in the Comcast Business Text line. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Over 1,100 people right now in the 7 o'clock hour on YouTube. Hey, you may have heard differently on other shows, but nobody does numbers like the roast. Not on YouTube, baby. Let's go.